hard they could not stand. Let my people go down, Moses, way down in Egypt's land, and tell old Pharaoh, let my people go. Thus said the Lord, though Moses said, let my people go. If not, I'll smite your firstborn dead. Let my people go. Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt's land. Tell old Pharaoh, let my people go. The Lord told Moses what to do. Let my people go to lead the children of Israel through. Let my people go down, Moses, way down in Egypt's land. Tell old Pharaoh, let my people go. Thus said the Lord, though Moses said, let my people go. If not, I'll smite your firstborn dead. Let my people go. Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt's land. Tell old Pharaoh, let my people go. The Lord told Moses what to do. Let my people go to lead the children of Israel through. Let my people go. Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt's land. Tell old Pharaoh, let my people go. When they had reached the other shore, let my people go. They sang a song of triumph. Let my people go. Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt's land. Tell old Pharaoh, let my people go. I just want a little swig of water to get this old rusty throat straight. You know, it was several hundred years that the children of Israel dwelt in the land of Egypt. They went in high style, you know, if you know your history. They went in because Joseph, whom the brothers had sold, that's where God sold him to. Jehovah does things, brothers and sisters, in ways that you and I will never understand. We will understand them maybe after they are done. Who would have thought that by selling their brother, their beloved brother of their father Yaakov, that we would wind up in Egypt, along with the people, learning the ways of those Egyptian people who were one of the greatest nations in the face of this earth. You know, in Egypt now, there are no Egyptians. No. I don't know if you know that. The Arabs are in there. That's right. There are no Egyptians. The Egyptians are running around Sudan trying to find their way because they went after the white man's religions and got banished and punished, just like we did for all the things that we have done to the name of God after he helped us so tremendously in everything we did. If Jehovah is not in what you're about to do, you are not going to be so successful as you had planned, because we're the people of God. You say, well, I didn't ask to be the people of God. Maybe you didn't, but that's what you are. Because he loved Abraham. And then he loved Yitzchak. And then what's the other brother that came along? The one after Yitzchak, who is it? Yaakov. Yaakov. And then and he loved us right down to now. You think he don't love you? What you doing standing here? With knowledge, new understanding. Maybe not new to a lot of you. I'm saying new because I feel I'm a little older than most of you. You might say, hey, listen, I've known myself as long as you have, old man. And that's very good, very good. So he said, for several hundred years, children of Israel dwelt in the land of Egypt, but after the death of the generation of Joseph, there arose kings that made Israel slaves to the Egyptians. They did not like it that you had equal footing of everything in their land of Egypt. But that wasn't what really bothered them. What bothered them was that we had erupted into numerous people. We went in there, how many of us? 70? Yeah. 70 souls, that's all. And we mingled, of course, then with the Egyptian people. Our men took Egyptian women as well as the few little Israelite women that they took with them. And when you looked up, what was it, 430 years? Yes, that's good. Be seated. Speak up. See, I'm so used to standing. I've been standing like this for years. I forget, and you all probably tired. Jehovah has not made me to do labor for the captains now for many, many, many years. I don't labor to them. So that Jehovah. But as I said, that when they got up to this, and their outlook, it was very dim. Because they said, what's going on? They are putting us into slave camps. Same like they do here. Oh yeah. Here? Who you think is running the economy and getting nothing from it? You know, now that God is starting to shake them again with that money thing. Because you don't ever have any money. I mean, you say, well, look at this one and that. I'm not talking about 15 people out of the nation. We're millions. I'm talking about have things between us where we could have businesses and where we could do good things and we could trade, and we don't have any of that coming out of the USA. Jehovah's doing wonderful things now. You watch it. He's having people come over that they don't speak the English. Espanol. Oh, Espanol. And some of them think they're Spanish. Look at them good.
Talk about it.
What do they look like?
They look
like us.
That's right.
That's what they are. How in the world did they find themselves over in places that like what's some of the Spanish people?
Santo Domingo.
Santo Domingo.
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica. Cuba. Hello. All right, you blacks. Back up. But I'm serious. We went over in slavery. That's right. And you know those great men that got a semi-freedom, most of them were black. You know some of those great black generals? They were great men. Because God never took the greatness out of us. We came into America, United States of America, as pure slaves. I mean, when I say pure, You jump, you here, nigga? Yes, sir. How high, sir? Yes, sir. Oh, they meant it. They still mean it. They just say it in different ways. You don't get the schooling, the job, and guess who helps them keep us subdued? We do.
Exactly.
We do.
Lack of education.
Think about it. Who kills your brother over the drugs? Not the white drug thing. That brings down the gang of the coke, or the smack, or whatever you want to call it. We're still eating up each other and killing each other over drugs? Yeah. Who fills up the jailhouse? We do. For what? What did you do? I just heard of a fellow getting killed by some policemen where they shot 80,000 bullets in him. Yeah. You know that I'm telling it wrong, but that's it. Might as well have shot 80,000 bullets in him. Anybody shoot 80 bullets in somebody. That's right. I'm finding out so many things about my people, but most of all, I'm finding out that Jehovah has always said it and will keep to it. He said, only a remnant. A remnant. I'm going to bring them back up. A remnant. You've got to be a good remnant. Okay. The burden was heavy, he said, and the outlook for the future was dim, but Jehovah, our God, did not forget his promise to give us the land of Canaan, a land of wealth and prosperity. He brought up Moshe to lead us out and gave him Aharon for his spokesman. That was funny. Can you imagine them? Aharon, who had been taught and learned in Egypt, and he sent him looking for his brother Moshe, who had now been away from his own people for, what was it, 40 years? 40 years. And he said, you go out there and meet him. He said, and your brother, he stammers and stutters, but this is the great man I picked to lead us out. And you, with your eloquent way of voicing things, with your knowledge of Egypt, with your understanding of different things that have gone on in the 40 years you have not seen him, you will be his right arm. And they went on up there. He said that Jehovah our God did not forget his promise to give us the land of Canaan, a land of wealth and prosperity, and he brought up Moses to lead and gave him Aharon for his spokesman. Okay. By many signs and wonders did he bring us out. When I think of those signs, the first signs, they're funny. Because, first of all, I can just see Pharaoh. Yeah, I'm an actor, you know. I hope I don't bore you to death. I can just see Pharaoh now sitting up there. They say, Aharon, our slave who keeps us in touch with the Israelite slave. That's what I need. Then keep this mouth going. Hallelujah. And so they went up, and it was a funny meeting, like I said. Because Moshe said, he said, well, Aharon, he said, what he got to speak to today? They look upon Aharon as he's a little flunky that he tells about the people. We go, you know, I'm like the little black politicians we have now. You understand? They can go up to the White House. They're going to help you one bit, but they can go up to the White House. And they can sit with the president. But Mr. President, you know, it's very bad out there in Bed-Stuy. And just recently, sir, 4 or 5 little black men got killed for nothing, really. And they, yes, well, they're going to take care. Yes, that's awful. That's awful. We'll pray that it don't happen no more. It's okay. And listen, about that little new church you wanted to open up there, you know, talking about, I got $50,000 coming to you, okay? See you later. Sure. That was Aharon's job. Aharon didn't like his job. He was glad to go and see, but he didn't trust Moses. He said, did God really send me to come out here for this guy? And he said, well, this is my brother who is going to speak to us and represent. And he said, Moses went up, he said, thus says the Lord God, let my people go. Pharaoh said, ha! He said, say it again, man. He said, where did you get this guy? He's good. He said, go ahead. What? He said, do I get a part? Okay, I ain't letting people go. Come on. He said, thus says the Lord, the God of our fathers, let my He said, boy, this is all right. Okay, I had enough of that. I'll take over. What's his name? Mo shit. Yeah, take him away now. Bring him back tomorrow. Shoot, the shows ain't doing good as they've been for me as usual. Oh, yeah. But you know something it says here? By many signs and wonders did he bring us out.
Oh, yeah.
They caused plagues and devastation in the land.
Come on.
He hardened the heart of Pharaoh, that his glory might be known in the earth.
Okay.
God's glory is always known through people in the earth and through different signs and things. You never saw God. Anybody in here that saw God, please stand up and let us throw you out, because we got somebody nuts in here. Oh, who saw him? You say you saw stars. Yeah. You say you saw hurricanes. Yes. You know that hurricane they had, the water swooped down there in New Orleans. Do you know that now they have 18,000 of all ours that have no homes yet done anything to it, and there are no intentions of doing it.
That's right.
No intentions. No. You who sit here, brothers and sisters, with the knowledge of this God, you cannot imagine how great God is doing for you, just the fact you know yourself.
That's right.
Now, you might say, well, but we haven't really done nothing. That's not God's fault.
That's right.
He brought us out. We're beginning to know one another. I'll tell you, I know one thing that's tripping Israel all over the place with their own feet. Everyone cannot be the boss.
There you go.
I know you don't believe this, especially everyone says, because you say, well, okay, that's true, but I can. So every one of us say that. That ain't the way it goes, my brothers and my sisters. And if Yehovah have to take personal time to show you this, we're going to miss a lot of you. A lot of you. Can't we work together? But anyway, while I'm trying to tell the story, I never do tell a story straight. Anybody knows me will tell you that. They'll say, this guy goes on. But by many signs and wonders, I said, they caused plagues and devastation in the land. He hardened the heart of Pharaoh, that his glory might be known in the earth. Pharaoh, you were nothing but a little tool. You thought you was bad, but you were the tool that is way down here now in this time, in this place. We know Pharaoh. So Pharaoh, you got famous anyway, whether you liked it or not, because God had a destination to you. And he said, he commanded all Israel to keep his Passover as a remembrance unto all generations. The feast of Pesach is a feast of joy and a time of praise unto Yahweh. And then somebody will say, it's not Yehovah, it's Yahweh. And I say, oh, okay. Well, can I say Elohim? Well, you see, it's supposed to be Yah. Listen, I'm talking about the God who created the universe, who has no end and no beginning. Now, I understood. You understand? And let me say something to you. If you don't leave me alone, I'm going to call on him in every way I can for you to get out of my face. He might just favor my cause because I'm talking for him. He's about to do tremendous things in this earth with his people. And it does not matter who doesn't like it. Already, the nations of the earth are tripping over their own junk. They don't know what's happening. You are living in a most wonderful time. You're going to see things that you would not have imagined would happen to the enemy.
That's right. It's happening now.
No, nobody can beat him. He got nuclear, and nuclear, whatever. And if that ain't enough, we'll build boom-a-bomb wham-wall.
That's right.
And blow yourselves off the face of the earth. That's what you're about to do. Notice something. He's not sending them to Africa. Those nuclear. He wants to send them somewhere so bad to show off. That's why he wants Iran. So, Iran keep talking, boy, we're gonna throw something at you yet, you know? And what he's scared of, that Iran getting them too. There's no knowledge hidden from Iran no more than was hidden from you. It's gonna be terrible. But they're not looking to throw them in Africa. Why? Because right now we're looking at silly black men fighting each other with the white influence coming in there. That's so great. Don't you worry a bit about it. That's just God there in his presence getting us to get straight. We're going to get straight. I'm telling you we're going to get straight.
Gotta get straight.
You'll see. So back in, as I said, It said, let the symbols of that time be brought forth, that we may remember and know Jehovah. He is God, and he reigneth over all the earth. And what were the symbols? The lamb. It was a symbol of the first Passover sacrifice, whose blood was placed on the doorposts of the houses of Israel to distinguish them from the houses of the Egyptians, that the angel of death pass over these houses and slay not the firstborn. Yes, indeed. Here are the symbols. The lamb. You know how we like our lamb. We don't like their symbols. But this was a symbol. That's a good piece. I saved that one. Then he goes on, brothers and sisters, the unleavened bread. The bread, they say, of affliction. I never understood the word for affliction. I know what affliction means. Afflict means it pains you, it hurts you, it sickens you. That didn't do nothing to me. I mean, after 7 days, usually, I'm glad to leave it alone for a while. Although I happen to like it. But you know what it is? It's the things I can't have with it.
Right.
That's what it is.
That's definitely.
Now, when it gets to where, let's say, what's some of your favorite dishes that you're going to stop for these 7 days? Now, do that with matzah, and I'm okay with that. But God wanted to afflict us. He said, no more hot rolls in the morning. No more a whole lot of things in the morning, because that was the night we had to leave there in flight. Something. Can you imagine this God? You know, they gave us a picayune little pipsqueak God because of our unintelligent moves against our God for so long ago, and we went all over as punishment so that God could show us there is no God but the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The God that is the God of all things, that you can't even guess him. I can praise him and all that because I fear him. I'll tell you that. I fear him. And I can't help but love him. Right now I'm standing up in front of you. Next time you see me, and say in a few months from now, I hope to have a whole set of new teeth. And I hope they look nice, or because they're going to be false. But that's all right. But why I'm saying because, brothers and sisters, he has done so many wonderful things to me that I can talk all night about the things he does just for me personally, or family. But see these teeth? You see them all out there? 3 of them fell out, not at the same time, about months apart. I have not had any pain from them yet. When the first one fell out, I was shocked because I was brushing my teeth, those that are left. And it fell in the sink. And I said, what the hell? Now, the next one fell out when I saw it kind of getting loose, and it always have a little pain before it falls, like a day or two. Not a lot of pain, like your toothache, not like that. Just pain around the gum. And then I was ready for that one when it fell. The third one, I had forgotten all about it because it took too long, but like 2 months later. And everyone, all who love me, they say, Cohen, go to the dentist. You know, because you're such a handsome guy. I know they lie, but that's all right. You know, go get your teeth fixed, and we'll even help you pay for it and all that. All you said was going to help. Remember that. I'm going next month. But, oh, brother and sister, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that this God is a most wondrous God. This God that you cannot see, but you can feel. If by now, all these thousands of years, that he is punishing us for us going away from under his great and high hand, and all of the things he did for us. And let me tell you something. You see him every day because you see him in things that happen, action that takes place. And you're never going to see him, and you say, well, I'll see him when I die. You haven't died yet. You don't know. Okay. And you know, I'll bet you one thing. Okay. If I tell you you can see him tonight and let me kill you, you'll be wanting to break me into little pieces, because no one wants to really die. We want to live and enjoy. Amen. God is always going to be a great mystery to us. And everyone wants to crowd into our history book and say, it is us. It is us. we've got a natural scapegoat too. A guy that will fight us about it. Yesterday, the Pope came into town. Was it yesterday? I'm on the right day? I don't know. Yesterday. I really don't care.
Friday,
Yeah. And yeah, and his big private jet and stuff and his little mobile. And then he went and visited a synagogue. Ho, ho, ho. Because the Jewish man says that, yes, we are connected and we got to get over our fight. Why? Because God is now beginning to raise up the true house of Israel. We cannot have that. Because it will destroy everything in the Western.
Little bitter herbs.
Oh, yes. Are we ready for the bitter herb? Not yet?
Yet.
Because I'm going to show you how, of course, my teeth is going to give me a fit. And it makes me cry a little bit sometimes, the bitter herb. It's good for you. Yes, bitter herb is very good for you. I've been eating this thing. I didn't know it was called bitter herb, but you know the way they take it off the bark, the thing, how you cut it up. We were having that when I was a little Negro kid. I don't know why. Sometimes for different ailments. Yes. Our grandmothers and things, they knew such things. We are great people. We don't seem to understand it. Maybe I can't say it, I don't know, hard enough or good enough. We're people that I remember things happening to me when I was a little fellow down in Alexandria, Virginia. If I got a fever, my grandmother used to go and put, and they say that's superstition and it's this and that, Negro food. I remember her putting onion at the foot of the bed, and when you woke up in the morning, and I'm not telling you no stories, the onion would be all dried up and stuff, and the fever went into the onion. I don't know how it got there, don't ask me, but I know these things happen. I remember a whole lot of things that we did, and the best thing that ever happened to me was when my grandmother and I were coming home from church one day, because I was about 8 or 9. Ever since I was a little man, I wanted to know who was God. And I used to ask my grandmother and my mother, who's God? They also give me the same answer. He just, oh, you know that, but he don't know. But we're going to talk to this Jesus Cristo guy. But all I asked was, why can't we ever talk to God? I want, you know, and they had pictures of him coming out of the sky and on the cross and Etu and all of that. I said, that's a bad way to treat God. You know, understand my common sense though. And as I said, we were coming home from church one Sunday. My grandma, we lived in New York, and I used to take Jersey back and forth to the Alexandria where I was born. And they stayed all day, like we do here on the South. And we were coming home, and I asked my grandmother, I said, Grandmother Maggie, Mama Maggie, I said, Mama Maggie, is Jesus God? And she grabbed me so hard. And I said, no, son. I said, okay. Well, then who is? And she said, we don't know, son. And ever since then, I searched for Yehovah. I didn't know he was going to be called Yehovah. I didn't know that had nothing to do with so-called Jewish people or the language of Hebrews. I didn't know anything about Hebrews. But I know that I wanted to know him. And I'm not going to go into the story and tell you that. He did come to me when I was 31 years of age. And I use it when I talk to them, all my people. I tell them the same story. They say, we heard that story 100,000 times. They say, how did Cohen get to know God? Because God said, wake up, little nigga. And that's where I feel he did. And it was such a strange way. And I don't know. I could see, I told you I'm a big mouth. I can talk all day. But I want to make sure that I'm doing right as according to what they want me to do here, because I just keep on talking. He said, it came out, the unleavened bread, the bread of affliction, the symbol of affliction of the children of Israel and the haste in which we left that land, because it couldn't let the bread rise, so that it didn't have time for all of that. And this bread, I could eat this all the time if I had to. There's nothing wrong with it. And they don't make it the way we can make it. Yeah, I can make some unleavened bread myself. Yes, I can. Nice one, too.
That's right.
He said, brothers and sisters, then of course the bitter herb, the symbol of the bitterness of our years in slavery in Egypt. And we are in Egypt again, and we tell Pharaoh of God's word, let my people go. We had dwelt in the land of Egypt about 400 years. We worked and slaved and built that land with our own blood and tears.
Amen. Amen.
Jehovah sent Moshe to lead us out from under Pharaoh's hand, to take us away from Egypt and into Canaan land. The
Pharaoh hardened his heart and had no burden too. He knew not Jehovah God and wouldn't let us through.
But Jehovah our God showed mercy and raised his mighty hand. He put 10 plagues on Pharaoh and on all of Egypt's land.
Blood, frogs, gnats, and flies, and the rain on their sheep, boils and hail, and locusts too, and the darkness very deep.
Yeah, Jehovah did it, yes, you know he did. He looked on them with scorn. He smote them where it hurts the most. He slew all their firstborn.
From
that day and forever, the firstborn belongs to Jehovah. Man and beast must be redeemed, as it is written in his word.
Then they sent us out of Egypt land with gold and silver money. We left that place of slavery for a land of milk and honey.
Now God has commanded wherever you are, unto your children say, remember what I did in Egypt. Remember Passover day.
This year, we celebrated here in a foreign people's land. But Jehovah will bring us out again with a strong and a mighty hand.
Amen.
As over us, as over us, as over us, Lord, pass over, pass over us, oh Lord. Make thy children to safely tread. Destruction hold thy soul. Pass over us. Pass over us. Pass over us. We cry. Pass over. Pass over us. We cry. Let not the heathen keep us slaves, no matter how they try. Remember Israel, the land of Egypt, one of man. How our God heard us and did today to our land. We drove that Lord, and it was saved now and then. Yet thou hast promised that thou wilt save us once again. Pass over us. Pass over us. Pass over us. We pray. Pass over. Pass over us. We pray. Show us thy might in mercy, Lord, on this Passover day. Yeah, brothers and great man, you know, Moshe. Great man. I just see him so many times, I see him. You know, Yehovah is very great to us. He's very mysterious, he's very great, and he's very certain. If he has you in his eye, that you are going to do something great in this world for your people, you're going to do it. You know, but he knows it right now, and you may be saying, well, you know, it wouldn't be me. Sometimes I look in the mirror and I say to myself, how in the world did Jehovah ever pick you? And I laugh about it, but it's not funny. Because why? I love what I'm doing. And I've loved it now for many years. Every time I see a new face in Israel, and if you have to understand, because we got a lot of people playing Israel. This is not a game. Go play the hopscotch or jump in the water or hide and seek or something. This is not a game. And if you're going to prove to your God that you're the real McCoy, he's going to back you. And if you don't believe it, be right, do straight, live good, and see if he won't. Challenge him. Challenge him. You know, say, Jehovah, like, I'm trying, and mind you now, when I say challenge him, don't be crazy. I mean, you're saying, Lord God, I'm trying with my best to do everything I can to let, would you please do this and that? Because there's some secret desires that you have. Who you take them to? To the mighty God. You don't have to tell anybody but him, and he will know exactly. In fact, he knows what you want before you want it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes it's not wholesome. It's not good. It's not clean. It's not right. And when you find that out and you never got it, then you're happy. Oh, Lord God, I didn't know what I was doing. Of course you didn't. Half the time we don't know what we're doing. You know, God is going to set us right. Yes, he is. Because, you know, we are in Egypt again, brothers and sisters.
Okay.
It's a new Egypt.
Okay.
It's a new Egypt because they have decided that the old way of treating these slaves, which we still are, whether you know it or not, was not good. So now we do things, we give you, treat you good, don't we? I almost said nigga. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. Color ain't no good to y'all no more either, right? It's black. Oh, okay. So, but ain't us white folks with you blacks now? Come on now. You head up everything in baseball. How's that? Huh? What's the matter? You all right? But you got football too. My goodness. What you think? I almost said my bad. What you blacks want? Huh? You got now you got a guy running out there talking about he's gonna be president of the United States. Oh my goodness. And I ask you as a black man, what do you think? I'm glad they don't ask me. I'm sure I really am. When I've seen some of them, like sometimes, you know, the people in the subways or something want a little word, and they'll come up and say, and what about you, sir? And I say, I get out of this way now. I keep walking. I don't, because I know you're going to ask me something that, and I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you what I feel. Please, go ask that black brother over there, because I'm not trying to put no scorn on him, but I can look at him and see he don't know himself. And he just will be friendly because they say, you know, times is changing. Y'all still carrying a chip on your shoulder. Chip, that's not a chip. That's a tree.
That's right.
What are you talking about, a chip? That's one of them trees that grow up in California where they've been there 3,000 years and it take almost a half a day to walk around it. What are you talking about, a chip? A chip. Brothers and sisters. I could say so many things. I'm looking at the slip. I don't want to go over my time or nothing. Of course, they treat me so good here, you know. Cohen, just take advantage. They let me have all the time I want. And I love to talk. But I love to talk about us.
Right.
I love to talk about what maybe we can do. You understand? And I love to talk about how not to talk. When there's a certain thing that you might do that I don't want to take a part in because I don't want people to know all my secrets. I'll tell secrets to you. You are my people. And I hope that we will learn soon how to keep a secret. that's what's coming up soon for us in this terrible, terrible place. Notice what's happening. I think I got in I brought my book of current events. I know I have. Do I have time?
Okay.
Yes? I mean, you have something else that you want to, I don't want to bless up your agenda now. A song? What? The songs. Okay, good. Then I'll let you do the song. Because, but I have in my bag, I brought my little current events. I keep a current events. I've been keeping them now for, maybe 20, 25 years of the week on one page for when Shabbat comes. And the congregations that I've led and taught, I would at the end of the day read out. And you can decide for yourself, are we pawns or are we not? By the things that have happened. Sometimes you are out working hard so you don't get the current events I might get. But it's my job that I'm supposed to hear and see it all because I'm not working on no 8 to 5. Having for a long, long time now. And God has blessed me so tremendously because I have a big, big family. Those of you who know me know I do. And you say, how'd you get a big family? You know how you get children, don't you? Because if you don't, then I'll let you in on that secret. That's not a big brothers and sisters. Anyway, it's a pleasure that you will invite me here, that I could be here with you at the opening of this new season as we come into. What's the name of this day? Pesach. What's that mean? Passover. Passover what? Oh, Lord. So, with that in mind, who's in charge? My Lord? Oh, yeah. Here's a very capable young man. I didn't bring him in. I'm jealous because I haven't been able to put that up. But anyway.